It's UV Awareness Month, and our sponsors at UBMD Primary Care want you to know about the importance of protecting your skin from the sun. So I'm joined now by Drs. Kevin Hughes and Stephen Fallis with tips on how you can be more mindful of UV protection. Welcome, doctors. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Let's start off by talking about why UV protection is so important.
Yes, absolutely. UV protection is so important. You know, it's really the UV radiation that comes from the sun. It's a human carcinogen. It really is important to protect yourself because by 70 years of age, 1 in 5 Americans actually develop skin cancer. And believe it or not, if children are more sensitive to the sun rays, and even one major sunburn doubles their risk of developing skin cancer in the long term. Having more than 5 overall skin, blistering sun exposures really can cause a significant risk in developing skin cancer, doubles it actually.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so important that we're talking about this. Tell us about the window of time that the UV is the strongest and why people should be keeping that in mind.
Yeah, it's very important to keep in mind that especially between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., even close to 4 p.m. as well. That's when you have the peak UV radiation when you're outside. People also need to bear in mind that even if there's a cloudy day, even if they're inside by a window, you can still be affected by these UV rays. So irrespective of what you're doing during that period of time, whether you're by a window, outside, even under the seeming protection of clouds, you need to be mindful of those UV rays as they can still be very harmful.
That's right.
And carcinogenic.
Let's talk about some key statistics that people should know and why we're talking about the awareness.
Yes, absolutely. So like we had said, you know, those sunburns can really increase the risk of developing melanoma. So melanoma is a very serious type of skin cancer. And really as primary care physicians, Dr. Fallis and our other colleagues at UBMD Primary Care really focus on having these conversations within our annual well visit to really, bring enlightenment regarding the risk and the necessity to do a yearly skin exam and discuss certain warning signs. So warning signs such as irregularities and non-healing wounds, or small blemishes that may be increasing in size or changing in shape and color. So it's really important, again, with your primary care physician to make sure that you're having those yearly skin exams, discussing the need for a possible consideration to meet with a dermatologist for further evaluation, because really the statistics show that with increased sun exposure, harmful UV ray carcinogens, you're at increased risk of developing skin cancer.
That makes sense. Alrighty. Now, there's a lot of kids and teens that are doing outdoor activities, especially during the summer months. What should parents keep in mind?
It's especially important for children. They have more sensitive skin and are therefore much more susceptible to sunburn. As Dr. Hughes mentioned, bad sunburn in children does significantly increase their risk for skin cancer as they get older. And for kids especially, they're outside with school during, when they're at the playground, when they have sports leagues, when they're at daycare. And oftentimes this is between those peak hours of 10 and 2 o'clock that I had mentioned. So for those reasons, it's very important that parents provide at least SPF 30 sunscreen to their children. Important to reapply it every 2 hours and more often or as needed when kids are sweating a lot, when they're in the pool, when they're at the beach, when that sunscreen may be washing off. That it is regularly reapplied so kids can have the protection they need. And as Dr. Hughes mentioned, because you have the risk of skin cancers going up as you have more sunburn, it's very important that
we're just protecting ourselves. I love that we put out a number there, because I was going to ask that. Starting with SPF 30 is what you recommend as kind of a minimum. And I also think it's important to note that this is for everyone, all skin types. I know especially in minority communities, brown and black people often are misinformed, thinking that they don't need to protect their skin as well. So just wanted to mention that, right?
Absolutely. No, I think it's really important, again, to be mindful that it's, the sun rays and the radiation affects, all skin. and the skin is the largest organ within the body. So we really need to be diligent regarding protection and really, having these conversations and heightened sensitivity because some things may go missed as well. So really, again, awareness, discussion with your primary care physician, and making sure that we're all being mindful is very important. All
righty, doctors. Well, thank you so much for coming in and giving us some great tips as we live out some fun in the sun the rest of the summer, but making sure we're protecting our skin. Viewers, you can learn more about how to protect your skin from the sun by visiting the American Academy of Dermatology's website at aad.org/practicesafesun. This segment is sponsored by UBMD Primary Care. Thanks again for coming in.
Thanks for having us.